Hey everybody, it's me, Benito Garcia from Go RPGs Presents The Most Rad Nerd, and I am here to talk to you about Magic the Gathering and not playing it in 26 years. Last time I played Magic the Gathering was 1996. I had a core group of friends that would come to my house and we would play. I think there was 3 or 4 of us, and a lot has changed in 26 years. I work with Mr. X, and I thought it would be fun. Mr. X enjoys playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I thought it would be fun to introduce Mr. X to Magic the Gathering. I didn't realize how much had changed since then, and I had some cards, and I picked up some cards here and there. Mostly just commons and uncommons. Nothing crazy, because I thought it'd be fun to introduce him into the game nice and easy. So I have all these cards and introduce him to the game. And as we're playing, and I picked up some of the newer cards, and as we were playing and I'm laying these cards out, they say things that I have no idea what they mean. We had simple things like reach, first strike, gosh, what else was there? There was, I don't remember what they were, but the game was so basic in the beginning. There wasn't a lot of terms, and the glossary wasn't very big. The cards now have a lot of new phrases in them, and the things that the cards do are just completely not what I'm used to. So it's been a huge learning curve for me trying to teach someone else how to play when I've been out of it for 26 years. Not to mention how many different kinds of cards and packs that you can buy. Back when I played, you got a sealed deck that you could play with, or you got booster packs. You could buy the whole box of boosters if you wanted to. If we played in tournaments, if we traveled to do that, you could play in tournaments where you built your own 60-card deck based on the boosters, or, if you had bought a sealed deck, of course, you could take that apart and build your own 60-card deck. Or a lot of the tournaments that we played in were just sealed deck tournaments where everybody walked in, you got a deck of Magic cards, and it was sealed in cellophane. And you sat down and you just started playing until the last man was left standing. But now it's just crazy, the different kinds of cards that you can get, not to mention how many different series there are. When I started playing, I don't know if I have slides for this or not. We'll look and see. We started with, so I started in 95-ish, ended in late 96, early 97. So when the game first started, which is only a couple years before I was playing, they just had Magic the Gathering that was an alpha deck. Then I went to a beta deck. But anyway, so if you look here, 1993 was alpha. And then beta came a little later, 93, unlimited 93, revised 94. That's the word I was looking for, was revised. Then 4th edition came out, 5th edition. So it goes all the way through here to 2021. And here's where it gets interesting. So back when we were playing, I can remember having the Arabian Nights cards would come along, Antiquities. I really remember getting into here, Fallen Empires, but Ice Age is one that we were all really, really looking forward to being a part of, and knowing that we were going to play in some tournaments and things like that. So yeah, Ice Age was big. And Ice Age had a lot of cards in it. It had 383 cards at the time. But look, I'll scroll through here and how much it's changed from the time that I was playing through. Ice Age homelands and alliances were big. And that's about the time I ended. But, I mean, look, there was Mirage, Visions, Weatherlight, Tempest, Stronghold, Exodus. Look at all these. It just keeps going as the years tick away that I was away from it. There was a lot of really cool sets, it looks like. Okay, it just keeps going, guys. Wow. So here's me back into it. Where are we at? About here? May, June, somewhere in this area. So much has changed. And one of the biggest parts that's changed for me was the boxes too. Just look how kind of plain Jane they are. And if you look at the boxes now, the box art, not to mention that the art on the cards is just amazing, but the box art's really changed too. But look at it was just a plain old box that just told you the name of the set. Ice Age. Seeing that when I was researching this show, and I ran across this picture of the Ice Age box. I remember this is the first time that I had ever bought a booster box, like the whole thing. And just, I can remember how excited I was opening each pack and seeing what cards were in there. That really, really takes me back. So, of course, here's all the magic. That nothing's really changed here. Luckily, we haven't added in a bunch of new lands, or that would have really got confusing. There's white, blue, black, red, green. I always played green, and now that I'm back playing, I'm thinking about maybe... Well, I'm going to start playing Commander, which is a whole new thing that we'll get into. But green was always my jam. I always really liked green. It never fared very well. I don't know if that's because green just didn't back in the day. It was a little wimpy. Maybe it was my gameplay. Maybe I just didn't know how to build a deck very well. I don't know. But it always seemed like the guys with red decks and black decks were just monsters. They just annihilate you so quickly. The black decks, I can remember things were always coming back from the graveyard. Red decks, very quick, immediate damage, hailing down from the skies with fireballs and firebolts and anything that had to do with destroying creatures that you had on the board. I remember white was very angelic and flying creatures and angels, and blue kind of lends itself to what you think it would be. It was a lot of water creatures and water spells and things like that. But a lot has changed. When I went to start to play with Mr. X, I stopped into the game store and walked in, and I said, "Hey, do you guys have pre-built decks?" I assume I've got a friend that I'm interested in getting him into playing. He loves Dungeons and Dragons so much. I've talked about the game. What do you got for me? Just real quick. I can get to him and we can play real fast, get a game together so I can teach him the rules. And they have games, or not games. They have decks that are two decks in one pack, and it's so that two friends can go at it right away. Go home, open the box, and play. 260 card decks. So of course that's what I did, and with the cards I already had, it was kind of fun to take those decks and start to change them a little bit. But when I got online and I started looking at maybe buying either booster boxes, or just some of the older cards from back in the day that had more of the just basic lingo, again, the things that were easy, like flying and haste and trample, different things like that. So I could just get him accustomed to seeing the abilities and what the cards do and what those things mean. There's so many phrases. Like I said, cards do so many things now that I have to, while we're playing, I have my iPad sitting there and I'm constantly looking up in a glossary. What does this mean? What does this mean? The cards are pretty good about telling you in parentheses what the card does, but sometimes you need a little bit of help from the internet. Just last night I had two other friends over, so three people who are learning from the ground up, and myself basically relearning. And we were coming up with, it was crew. It was an artifact, and you needed a crew to run this artifact. And we must have read that card 10 times and could not figure out what it meant to put a crew together to run this artifact vehicle. YouTube finally was our savior and helped us understand how to crew this thing so that it could get into battle. And I'm not joking, everybody's going to laugh at me. We were playing just sort of standard. We each had a 60 card deck-ish because I can't ever seem to make one that stops at 60. And we're all sitting around the table playing. And I'm not lying to you when I say we played one game. Each person had, the standard 20 lives, 3.5 hours of gameplay. We were laughing and having fun and cussing at each other and setting up alliances and politicking at the table. 3.5 hours for a 20 life game. It was so fun though. We had drinks and snacks, and the whole thing's not about who has the best deck or who is going to annihilate the other one first. It was just about sitting around with your friends and having fun. And as we started playing, it just hit me like a wave. It just took me all the way back to 1996. And just sitting around with my friends and having fun and laughing and seeing cards and what does that do and what does that do, and God, it was just a blast. So I'm so glad that I gotten back into it. But what I was going to say was I was looking things up and trying to figure out what to buy. There's more than just boosters out there now, and there's more than just sealed decks. You can buy. I had to write them down because there's so many, and I know I still don't have them all. I know I don't. There's things called challenger decks. There's fat packs. There's dual decks. There's pre-release packs. There's 30 card welcome decks, which apparently you're not supposed to charge for, but some game shops do. Boosters, those make sense to me. Deck builder toolkit. What is that? Double masters? I don't understand any of this stuff. Planeswalker decks. So I get it. There's over 20,000 separate printed cards that you can play with. And now I'm finding out cards are banned depending upon what type of gameplay you're playing. And I looked it up and there was 2 columns. I don't know how many was on each one, maybe 8 or 10. There's 20 different ways to play the game. I thought you just had your 60 card deck and you got your best cards and you played and had a good time. I did not know that there's so many different ways and rules, and based on what rule set you're playing, some cards are banned. I don't know why. Like, I'm, again, 26 years behind the ball. I got to figure out why that is. So anyway, so I'm talking to my other nerd friends, and it was just like, hey, guess what? I'm playing Magic again after 26 years. And I'm so excited. And the first question I got from everybody who's playing now or continued to play over the last few years is, are you playing Commander? I'm like, no, I'm not playing Commander. I'm just playing regular old Magic. I don't even know what you're talking about. 3 different people who have been playing Magic, and we don't talk about it because I wasn't playing, are all like, hey, give me a call when you're ready to play Commander. What the F is Commander? I don't even know what that is. So with that being said, though, I now have 3 Commander decks still in the cellophane because I don't know how to play Commander. I've been watching videos on it and I'm learning, and all of my friends are super excited who are already playing Commander to teach me. But so I'm going from a 60 card deck to a 100 card deck with no duplicates apparently, which I'm not the one who makes the rules up, so we'll see how that goes. And there's not 20 life points, there's 40 life points. And when you play and you're attacking your opponent or they're attacking you, they're not attacking you and you're not attacking them. You're going against their commander, apparently. And if the commander does die, the commander card, it goes into another spot, like not a graveyard, kind of back to his perch. I don't know. I have to figure all this out. And I'm super excited to do it because everybody else is super excited about it. It sounds like kind of like what happened last night when we were playing. I realized that the game took 3.5 hours because we're all such noobs. But it sounds like these Commander games are the same thing. It's tabletop politics and making alliances with other people if somebody's got a really strong deck that's just annihilating somebody, and you can work with someone else to get that player out. Or do a favor. You're like, hey, listen, if you don't attack me this round, I'll do you this solid, and I'll use this really strong guy that I have to help take care of this person who keeps, sort of nitpicking at you. And I don't know. It's going to be fun. I'm super, super excited. Again, I always played green, and I played green last night with the group. And again, green just sucks, or it could be me because I did not do very well. What I did find though was that everybody kind of being so new-ish was that everybody was kind of excited to get their land out because they were getting all of these creature cards out, but nobody was attacking. And then when I took the initiative, like, okay, guys, we gotta start going at each other. Everybody's playing defense, and I tried to get my creatures out there, my green creatures, which aren't super powerful anyway, the way I have it set up. Again, because I'm playing with commons and sort of uncommons and things like that. Nothing really crazy. I'm trying to divvy out my creatures to go fight my opponents, and they've got these giant defense. They're just annihilating my guys. So I was out actually fairly quickly. And watching the other guys play, and they're still playing defensive. And I think at the 3 hour and 15-minute mark, there was 2 players left. One had 22 life points left, and I think the other one had 20. And they were like, well, we're not playing another 3 hours. So the person with 20, I think, was going to concede. And I was like, no, you guys have got to do some battle. Like, his name was Bill. I said, Bill, just go after Linda with everything you've got so that you guys can start to learn how to block and use multiple creatures to block one creature and figure out how you divvy up how the attacker divvies up their strength points. It gets super complicated. But I just had to get those guys in the mindset of, even though I hadn't that night, for the most part until, later on, and I got annihilated. But get in the mindset of, you got these creatures out here to attack. You're trying to not only defend yourself, you're trying to win. And so it was about 4 rounds was all that was left by the time those guys were going at each other and learning how to, again, like I said, block with multiple creatures. And it went pretty fast. But it's funny to say that we played just a standard Magic the Gathering, and it took, like I said, it took 3.5 hours. So, yeah. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I'm back into it, and there's a lot to get caught up on. And I'm just glad that my friends that already know how to play it are willing to teach me. And I'm so stoked that I have friends that want to learn. So as much as we do with D&D, and that will always be, in my heart as my number one thing that's going to take up the most of my time. And again, I think that's the same with my friends too. But this is really a nice filler when we're playing every other week that, maybe, I have 2 groups that run every other week, so I get to play every week. But, it'd be nice maybe on an evening here or there to just call somebody up or hit them up and say, hey, you want to play some Magic for a couple hours and keep that fantasy element of things rolling and keep your mind fresh. And, who knows? These things can translate into maybe some of our Dungeons and Dragons, which, before I end this episode, I'm super excited that Dungeons and Dragons has combined with Magic the Gathering. How cool is that? Like, some of your cards allow you to roll a D20. Like, that is so cool. That's a great combination of both. That makes me really happy. Some cards allow you to start moving through a dungeon. There's a card that has a dungeon, entrance at the top and different rooms as you work your way through. And you get to move from room to room based on the magic cards that you're laying down. And so rad. I'm so excited about all of that. I was going to share a couple other things. Let me see what's going on here on stuff that I have. This is Magic the Gathering website. So give me 1 second. I'm going to try to share. I have to split my screen into 2. I have an ultra-wide monitor, so let's get over here and look at this thing and see what's up. Latest products. Yeah, I don't need to worry about latest products. I need to worry about all the products that have been out prior. Products, tabletop, digital, coming soon. Digital, don't even get me started on digital. I've been playing Arena, trying to learn a few things here. I don't know, products featured. Magic the Gathering Arena. Yeah, see, this thing is everywhere. You can't get away from Magic the Gathering Arena. It is everywhere. When you type in Magic the Gathering, it takes you here. What is cool though, on some of the packs I've figured out is if you go to the store and you buy certain packs, there's a code that comes with it. And so those cards, physical cards you have in your hand, can translate to digital cards when you're playing Arena, which allows you to play again with people all over the world. This doesn't look anything like what it looked like earlier. Warhammer. So does this mean Warhammer is either about to or did crossover? No, it looks like it's right here. Release date October 7th, 2022. So now we're going to have some Warhammer apparently magic card things. That'll be cool. If you're a Warhammer guy. What is this? Oh, formats. Oh, geez. Oh my gosh. All formats. Let's see. Load more. See, what am I telling you? Load more. That's too many. Commander, Booster Draft, Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Sealed Deck, Alchemy, Explorer, Historic, Commander, Draft. Oh, Draft. I don't even know what that is either yet. Pauper, Brawl, Conspiracy, Two-Headed Giant, Legacy. Look, I don't even know. Here's where I'm going to hang out. I think I'm going to hang out right here. Commander and Standard, I think. I don't know. I'm probably playing Commander or Standard wrong. Let's look and see. Yes, I agree. Your stupid chocolate chip cookies, whatever. Okay, Standard. Let's see what that means. Deck size 60. Well, I'm already playing wrong because 60 plus. I'm okay. Number of players 2. See, I screwed that up because there's 4 of us. Game duration 20 minutes. And we definitely screwed that up because I don't even want to talk about it. Okay, why play this format? I don't know, because that's all Benito knows. Easily accessible cards. This is true. Great for deck building. This is true. And competitive. Yes. I don't know what. See, look at all this stuff. I'm freaking out. Gather with friends and play in person. Tabletop is your chance to see physical card treatments like exclusive art foils and the thought blah, blah, blah. I'm going to click learn more. It's probably going to scare me though. Oh, okay. Nah, that's just go to the store. Go to the store and you can play. Standard format. All right. Anyway, look at all that stuff. I feel okay. Let's go back to some products. Coming soon, featured. No, see, we already did Arena, tabletop, Challenger decks. I don't know. I did see this one. It looked kind of cool. I'm very much a cyberpunk fan, so this kind of grabbed me a little bit. This neon stuff. Of course, the packaging again. Look at this compared to those boxes. Those boxes I was showing you earlier. There's nothing going on there. Yeah, look at the cards. All right, you guys. When I started playing, the cards did not look anything like this. Not even close. It was a picture of a snake, and the art was not nearly this amazing. The art was good, but it was not amazing. It's a picture of a snake, and there's maybe 3 lines of what the snake did, and that was it. It was super easy. It had a tap symbol. Maybe you paid a little something, and that was it. So listen, I understand. 26 years. I get it. You got to keep the game interesting and fun and continue to challenge people's brains. So I understand why the cards look like this. Please don't ever take this episode that I'm complaining, because I am not complaining in the slightest. I am so excited about all of this and learning all this and what everything is. But it's just a tad bit overwhelming, but not to the point that I'm not going to be able to deal with it. Because I will be able to deal with it. All right, what is this? Streets of New Campina? I'm probably saying that completely wrong. All right, I don't know what that means. Family means business. See these cards. Look at this. Beautiful. Gosh, I love the looks of this set. Fantastic. So, maybe this is a set that I could look into. Oh, look, they got commander decks for this. Of course they do. Do I have any of these commander decks? No, I don't have any of these. Okay, so here's my commander decks. I bought one on Amazon because it's like $30, and I'm not going to spend a ton of money if I'm just getting started. The second one was, I think I bought it at I might have bought it at Walmart because again, it's like it was $30 or $35 or something like that. And then the next Commander set I bought at Target because it was on clearance. So listen, I'm not going up against, some of these players that are just like, spending. I don't, like, look at this set right here. Let me share this screen. Hold on just a second. All right, can you guys see that? I think. Look at the stinking price of this thing. That is crazy to me. Can I open that on this window and then control it? Look at me go. You go, Benito. $650. Like, what does this Commander deck do? That's so you can't even count $650 on this part, on the fees, because they're like the shop gives them to you for free, basically. But yeah, like, what is this deck made out of? I don't know. Like, is it worth that much money? Or, would that beat my $30 Target card, Target set? I don't know. Oh man, I'm in for it. But I am excited to play Commander, and I'm not belittling it at all. I'm very excited to learn it. I got my little Target set to start with. And there's a million Commander decks out there that are pre-built that I'm very interested in, especially now kind of going back and sharing the screen with you. I definitely want to figure out some of that stuff. Anyway, so I got a journey ahead of me, and I'm down for it. It's going to be fun. I'm not looking to just be the best Magic player on the planet. I'm too far behind too far behind. I don't even know what the phrase is. I need Heather here to help me out with phrases. Anyway, too far behind the times to be the greatest Magic player of all time. I think that Spelljammer ship has already sailed. So anyway, I'm sure I'll probably do maybe another episode on how my journey of playing Commander is going, and hopefully going well. And I hope that my friends that I'm dragging along by their hair are going to enjoy this journey as well. So anyway, my name is Benito Garcia. I am the most rad nerd, and I appreciate that you guys stop by here every week, every 2 weeks, and just kind of see what I'm up to. Make sure you head over to Synergy Nation Network and give them some love as well. Let's see what's going on over there. Hold on just a second. Let's look. I think I got it. There it is. Look at that. God, that website's so nice. Lucian does a fantastic job with this. All right, let's go. Let me grab that sucker. Get over here in the second screen, which is weird because look how it flattens it out when I put it in the second screen. Doesn't matter. Okay. Well, look who's on there. Huh. Very first, top of the screen. It's always Go RPGs. This was a good episode. I would highly encourage you to head over to Synergy Nation Network and check out this episode. All right, see that down there? That's where you're going to want to be. You're going to want to head over to Sin Network. What is it? www.sinnetwork.net. That's what it is. You need to head over that way because this episode right here of Go RPGs Presents the Spelljammer was so fun. That was such a fantastic episode. Like a lot of the shows, this one I got right into it. I might have veered off here towards the end, but this was a fun episode because Heather and I knew, Amnestria knew we were going to talk about Spelljammer in the episode. It took us a minute to get there, but we talked about a lot of really fun stuff leading up to that. We talked about Amnestria's, how her Twitch channel is going. We talked about the Synergy Nation camping trip that we went on. There were some funny pictures that came along with that. And then once we actually got into the Spelljammer stuff, I don't think that we cleared anything up for anybody on what Spelljammer is or with it coming out. We might have confused you more by the episode, but it really was a lot of fun. So if you want a lighthearted review of Spelljammer, I would head over to Synergy Nation Network and check out that episode. But the shows, look at all this great stuff that's on the shows here. I just love it. After the credits, Mice and Plastered, and I love those guys. Came out to the camping weekend, so much fun. Weekly Geekly, of course, the flagship of the network. They always have fantastic shows. I love Hot Dads. I assume that show's about me. I don't know for sure, but I would guess so. Galactic Driftwood. Now, there are some Magic players on Galactic Driftwood, as well as Dungeons and Dragons players. Galactic Driftwood does a lot of sci-fi things. I think that was sort of maybe their basis when they started, but they have really branched out into a lot of fun topics that are very pop culture with, TV and film. They've had me on a few times to talk about, things that aren't sci-fi. They're very diverse. I love that. Those guys over there, and I love that show. Talk Comics to me. Great show about new releases of comics and things that are into and favorite series that are going on. Thoughts and Shots. Thoughts and Shots is very much drink and watch movies and do some burns. It's fantastic. It's really good as far as some ad-libby stuff. And here we go. Sweet Child of Time. I think this is a new show. I haven't listened to it yet. And I might be wrong there. I might have listened to a preview when we were talking about bringing them onto the network. And man, if this is who I'm thinking it is, that preview that I got to listen to, or the episode that they shot over for us to listen to, was so good. So good. So there are so many great shows on here that 100% head over there and check out the network, because you won't regret it at all. All right, so I got that done, not all the way. Go play Magic the Gathering and play Dungeons and Dragons. Do both. And then also, just be happy. Be a nerd. Excited about some new shows coming up for this channel. Amnestria is working on some stuff. I haven't heard exactly what it's going to be yet. I do know we're doing a DM roundtable. She's really good at putting those together. I'm going to have my friend Derek on pretty soon. He's a fantastic nerd friend of mine. I was at his house for dinner not too long ago, and he just kept handing me books and showing me things that he's got going on, and I'm super excited to share those with you. I was really blown away with a couple of things that he has on the shelf waiting to bring out and get to play, so maybe he'll share some of those things with us. So Benito Garcia, Go RPGs presents The Most Rad Nerd, and everybody stay nerdy.